Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Badari. I'm working for Autodesk company with the education department. What exactly we do? We inspire students to come up with new ideas. We believe students have more creativity than us, right? So that's the reason we are providing free software for all schools, for all the students. We are providing free software to them. Before I continue, normally people who with a lot of creativity, we used to call them artists before, but now we call them makers. The reason behind that, whatever we imagine, we can create that. Alright? So we have a lot of prototyping tools. It can be a 3D printer, it can be a CAM machine, laser cutting, we have a lot of things. So artists, really, they can design something, they can create it. So that's the reason nowadays we call them makers. Right? So you're all here, there are a lot of makers. I hope you really enjoy this 2 days event. And my part, I'm showcasing a technology which is useful for the designers. Right? So let me just go with a video which explains to you what is Autodesk. So this is what we are. We are into design. It can be building design, it can be automobile, aeronautical, or it can be movie, animation, character design, anything. So I hope you have all seen the movie Avatar, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Toy Stories. All these movies characterize animated using our technology. So before I move further, I just want to go with a small quiz session.
Even 3D.
I hope everyone likes quiz.
I will get more chairs.
So you can see this hungry alligator. So do you think that's a real fake, right? It's quite easy for everyone. Because I'm from a design company, obviously I will show some fake things. And the reason of showing this particular, whatever we imagine, we can really digitalize that. My home, everyone can see from here. So whatever we imagine, we can really digitalize. As the next step, we can manufacture because we have a lot of tools nowadays. And even it is so difficult to make out which is real, which is duplicate of it. Right? For example, each and everyone is a consumer. For example, something happens to my mouse. I don't have to buy a new. I can design, I can 3D print, I can reuse. Right? So the same thing we are going to design later. And here the same, one more example. There is one duplicate and one original, which is really difficult to identify which is real or which is fake. Right? So that is the power of technology. In this case, this is fake and this is real. Anyone can identify why?
The TV,
Right?
the TV
Right,
reflector.
I can easily change. No? TV, television. So when you take a photo, television screen will not be as bright as this. It will be always faded with lot of lights. Right? So this is real and this is fake. That's the only way we can identify. Right? So my car and my girlfriend. I wish both to be real. Unfortunately, both are fake. But there is an advantage. So I can design myself. Right? So, this is just an idea, means the power of technology. Here you can see the portfolio. We have more than 90 products available. More than 90 products which are useful for architectural design, structural design, automobile, aeronautical, or animation. For everything you can use our technology. So we are into three different disciplines. One is digital entertainment, building, and also digital prototyping. These three things are our key focus. So when it comes to makers, this picture is our Autodesk manufacturing space. So we have this in San Francisco. This place is called Pier 9. So if you are visiting San Francisco, you can go to this place. You can register earlier, you can go there. You can manufacture whatever you want. You can design anything, you will be having all the softwares. And it is completely open for public. Huge asset. So each and every latest machinery is available over there. And we also have a gallery. So you can see these cars. This is not real actually. This is created by makers. So we have a gallery to display all these things at our San Francisco gallery. And moreover, this is our CEO, Mr. Carlos. Himself, he is a maker. So that's the reason he is more interested towards this 3D printing. We have invested a lot of money on 3D printing and also research purpose. So himself he is a maker. And the best part, 3 years back, we have inaugurated this Pier 9, and this is how he has inaugurated. I like this fork. So instead of cutting the ribbon, so here is going to cut the metal. So this is a different way of inaugurating, right? So, coming to the actual point, why we are here today. I want to showcase a technology which is really useful for makers. Normally when I say software which is useful for 3D modeling, 3D model means it is like a solid. We create a box, we create cylinders, something like very simple stuff. But when it comes to manufacturing, just 5 years back, we had only few machineries available. lathe machine, drilling machine, milling machine, something like that. But nowadays, we have 3D printers, prototyping machine, laser cutting machine, CAM, lot of things available. Within this room, you can find all those machineries available, which can manufacture any shape. But is it possible? I can go and talk to this machine. I cannot talk to machine, right? I cannot ask machine to 3D print a mouse. It won't understand me. And even my English is not that good to explain it. But the best part, we can export our digital model to the machineries. When we have capability of designing any, manufacturing any shape, we need to have capability to design that shape. If I want to design this mouse, so can anyone tell me what is the shape of this mouse? Is it rectangle, cylinder, square, hexagon, octagon? So it is difficult to identify the shape of this. But I can design this shape and I can export it to a 3D printer. Right? Quite very easy. So what we need? So we have a latest cloud-based design tool, and how makers are helping with this tool. So you can find, this is one sample. So you can also help disabled people to walk. And this is my favorite. So I had this issue. I had a plaster of Paris for 3 months. And you can imagine, it will be itching inside. Put the scale, put pencil or pen inside. Right? So cool. So whenever you want, you can wear, you can remove it. Pretty good, right? And also artistic. So this is all by makers. When it comes to architecture, so I don't know whether anyone can sit on this chair, but looks good, right? It looks good. It can be the furniture, it can be prototype of any building. All these things by makers again. And also when it comes to automobiles, I have seen some of the companies, they request makers to come up with a new concept car designs. Right? So this is something related to automobiles. When it comes to movie, lot of artists and makers work together for nice movies like this. Even though these two movies are animated, right? But of course they need to wear the costume at some point of time. That's all by makers. And even household, it can be a specs, it can be guitar, vacuum cleaner, shoe, whatever. So all these things artistically with new creativity you can design, you can manufacture. So for designing purpose, here we have the technology called Fusion 360.
Yeah, just an announcement over here. I'm sorry to just cut it like that, but we are having an overwhelming response for this class over here. Just for your information, the sessions are actually video recorded. So those who came first and would like to understand more about Fusion 360 and doing modeling, especially for those who have no experience doing modeling, this is your chance to try. For the rest of us, because there's not enough space and it's really overwhelming response, I appreciate if we can head up to the materials design lab and understand more about what iMaterialize and UCT have to offer for you with your specific needs. So those of us who have no experience in doing modeling, would like to try, can stay on. The rest of us, I appreciate if we could give others a chance. So those who are going up to level 2 can actually follow Jamin as well as Robin. I apologize for this. Thank you.
Just give us some time to move up possible.
Especially for those of you who do not have your laptops with you, it would be great for you to actually join us at the material design lab. Yeah.
Sorry guys, if there is any inconvenience.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll continue with this. So this is the first cloud-based design tool. What I mean by cloud-based, Any point of time, even after 5 years, 10 years, if you want to recover your data, you want to access your designs, so it will be on your email address. You can just log in and you can access. That is the first point, cloud-based design. So here we can see what is the advantage of this software. One is designs are faster. How many of you played with the clay? Everyone, right? Of course. Which is very easy, right? Stretch, press, pull, we can create some shape. This is digital clay. It's a digital clay. Technically we call it as organic modeling, or we call it as freeform modeling, right? Pretty fast. You can stretch, press, pull, you can create some shape. That is the advantage of this particular software. Second, work anywhere. I can log into your computer, I can access all my files. I can log into my office desktop, I can access all my files. I don't have to carry any thumb drive, pen drive or anything. So, I can work anywhere. And the best part, share with anyone. This is a Facebook era. So, we take a selfie and we share with everyone. Here, you are going to share your designs with your friends. Even though your friend doesn't have Fusion 360 software, they can still access your designs on Google Chrome. Right? If they want, they can like your design. If they want to give some suggestions, they can add comments, and you can access within fraction of second, and you can continue working on this software. And another best part, if you are working as a team, for example, you have 10 members in your team, and you want to share that design with everyone. So you don't have to wait for them to meet you. So you can just share online. So that is the advantage. So here you can see the dashboard of this particular software which you can access online. Same like Facebook. This is your profile, your designs. You can share with your friends. They can like, they can comment. And the best part, you can give access for them to download or edit the file. Means if you give access, they can download. Otherwise, they cannot download. They can just view online. So it is 100% secure, right? And how it works? Designing a coffee mug. There is a cylinder. This cylinder here, you can see there are multiple sections, horizontal and vertical. So designer is going to select two faces. He is going to stretch those two faces and he can join. So how much time we need for this? 5 minutes? I can say 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you can design your own coffee mug. So just have a look at this video.
Edit photos can also be found by right-clicking in the workspace. First, I'll click on toggle, changing the box. Performance while working in edit form. Get better visualization and structure. I'll select two faces. Holding the Alt key while I transform, an edge is inserted and the faces are extruded. Release and repeat for additional extrusion. This also works for scale and rotate. Now I'll transform these two edges. To connect these faces, I'll use the bridge tool. Go to Modify, Bridge. Select the faces to bridge between. And click OK. The handle looks a bit small, so edit form. I'll select the vertex. I'll select these vertices and transform them. The toggle split is complete. It's easier to see how small adjustments affect the model.
So this is 1 minute video. Within that 1 minute, he is going to explain how to design a coffee mug. So once you become expert, the same thing you can do it in 30 seconds. Alright? So this is the advantage of freeform model. And I was also talking about display. This is based on T-spline technology. Here you can see each and every corner of this, which is curved. The advantage of this T-spline technology, I can export it into any other particular software for simulation or any other editing purpose. Or if I export this to 3D printer, and you can see 3D printer can easily print this kind of curved shapes. If there is a sharp corner, quite difficult even for sometimes 3D printer cannot manufacture. But here it's quite pretty easy. Right? Not just this, creating form. This software will also help you to assemble multiple parts. So what is the purpose of assembly? For example, my hand. I can rotate my hand 180 degree, right? Can I rotate minus 180 degree towards bottom? That is because of the joint what I have. That kind of joints we can mention over here. Software will understand that joint. Even you can go further with the motion strengths. Right? For example, I am going to 3D print this specs. When I am going to 3D print this, I can give a cut press here, so I can rotate only this direction, not opposite direction. Am I right? Those kind of simple analysis we can do with this assembly model before I 3D print. That is the advantage of this software. You can create different parts, you can assemble. Right? And next one, this is a very nice video. Designer scan his head. I hope you know, using Kinect scan you can scan your head. That will be converted to mesh. You can bring inside any technology. The purpose, he wanted to design his own optical frame. And that optical frame, the shape which he likes, he has downloaded the image. Okay? He is going to attach that image as a canvas over here. He can create the specs and he can bend based on his head shape. This is not flat, right? This is curved, which is suitable for me. So the designer wanted to do something like that. Let's have a look at this video. So this is the mesh model. This is the image of the optical frame which designer likes. So he's just going to create a simple shape and he is going to stretch the shape along the canvas. And if there is any complicated shape, you can even create some simple frame and you can join them. So other side you don't have to do that because this is digital, right? I can just mirror that. And by adding thickness, now here is your optical frame ready. And what next? You need to bend. Right now this is flat. You need to bend. So he is going to access the mesh. So based on the requirement, he is going to bend. Right? So you can design your own optical frames. And even the best part, if this is broken, I don't have to buy a new one. I can just design and 3D print this leg, right? It is quite easy. And here you can see in this particular video I was talking about assembly. This guy is going to split this one and this one into two different pieces and he is going to keep the joint. That joint information will be understood by software. Now you can see it is going to rotate. Right? So this video is about 2 minutes video. But of course this will take more time. Even though it takes more time, within half an hour you can design your own optical frame. Anything you can search on Google image, download the image, put it here as a canvas and you can create that particular shape. Right? So this is the beauty of technology with the organic model. So you can create any shape. You also have a basic functionality of assembly, like you can provide joints, you can animate. And this is one video, and one more, the last sample with the 3D. This is my favorite. I don't know whether it is real, means it happened in real life or not, but the concept is very nice. The concept is a person has broken his bone, and nowadays people are even printing human tissue. It is not difficult to print a bone, 3D print a bone, but we need to have a bone shape, right? How to get that bone shape? For example, this one is broken, so same bone shape I will be having here. So I can use this scan model, and how I can digitalize. This is the mesh model of the bone. One command. They has created a cylinder. There is one simple command called put. So once I select command, automatically all the nodes of this particular digital cylinder will be attached to the mesh model. So then I can turn off the mesh model. For the digital one, I can add thickness, which I can really 3D print. Right? So this is the advantage of Fusion 360. It is not just for any particular mechanical architecture or anything. So this application can be used anywhere, right? So that's the reason this is very, very useful for designers. So shall we go with the hands-on session? So how many of you think this is difficult to use? Is it difficult to use? Easy? Okay. So you can see there is a small speaker available on your table. Small speaker, right? And there is a caliper on your table. So we are going to design a headphone which is suitable for the speaker. Okay? So people whoever have laptop, you can turn on your laptop, you can install the software Fusion 360. It may take about 10 to 15 minutes to install the software. So right now, it is free for 30 days. So later if you want to buy the software, you can buy the software on a subscription basis. Right? So let us start with the software.
So just one note on that in terms of the licensing. So for anyone who's an educator or a student, you can still use the software for free. Okay? So just take note of that. Yeah.
So he's my boss. You should call me.
Yeah, he saw me just now. So.
They were asking, one guy was wearing blue shirt.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So have fun, guys. Badari is certified instructor, so have fun. It's going to be a fun hands-on session. It's really almost just creating things, almost like a clay-based model, but on a laptop. So just have fun. Thanks.
So,
I'm watching you.
What software do you guys normally use?
okay, so how many of you have software? 1, 2, 3, 4. So everyone has software, right? Okay, so people who don't have software, it will take some time because web page is so people who don't have software, no problem. Later you can go and install. Meantime, you can have it on my screen.
There you go.
So this is the user interface of Fusion 360.
Indonesia.
So you can see here, there are very few tools. There are very few toolbars which looks very easy user interface. And on the right hand side of my screen, this is my designs. This is all my design. So whatever I create, everything will be stored on cloud. That is the reason when you launch the application, it will ask you to log in. If you don't have the software login, you can create a new account. So you just have to provide any of your personal email ID. It can be Yahoo, Gmail, MSN, anything. Just provide that email address and you can log into this application. So once after login, this is your home screen. So in this home screen, let me just go through the available modules first. On the top left corner, here you can see the model option. Second is patch. Patch is for surface modeling, which is very high-end module of creating the shapes. Third one, you can render it. You can create a nice images with an actual background. You can apply some lights, material, so you can render. And the fourth one, you can create animations. And the last is CAM. This software automatically generates the tool path. Okay? So that tool path you can export to the CNC machines. That is CAM.
So even for 3D printer, can you create a file?
Let me show you. For a 3D printer, we have a direct tool here, 3D print. So whatever you create, once you select 3D print, it will ask you to select the third-party software of the 3D printer. So once you select the third-party application, it will be automatically exported over there. Nothing. Because every 3D printer will be having its own third-party software. If you go to Makerspace, so they will be having Makerspace software. If you go to XYZ printer, it will be having XYZ software. So this one can directly export to that particular software. I will show it later how we can export. And basically now we are going to start with the freeform model. To start freeform modeling, here you have two options on the top. One is solid model and the second one is form. So if you notice, solid model it shows no section, but when it comes to freeform, it shows multiple sections, right? So just click on the create form. Select create form. Shall I just go through this? Okay. The second icon, create form. Just click on the create form. It will give a message saying you are going to start freeform modeling. Select OK. And now, here you can find basic shapes. On the basic shape, box, cylinder, square, torus, all these things are available. And we are going to design a headphone, right? And headphone shape is something like this. This is the headphone we are going to design now. How many shapes we have to add? Can anyone tell me how many shapes I have to add here? Cylinder, box, rectangle, anything else? Okay. I'm going to start with one box. I'm going to start with one box and I will complete the next one model. I'm not going to use anything else. One single box you can start with and you can create the headphone. Right? So, can we start with the headphone? Okay. So here, select the box command. Select this box. And what you have to do next, you don't have to worry. Everything will be shown on the tooltip. So it is asking to select the plane. So you can select any plane. Here you have 3 planes. You can select any plane. I'm going to select the side plane. Then it is asking specify center point. So select this axis center. Now it is asking specify size. And now this particular speaker, this size is 300 mm. It's approximate almost 300, 283, sorry, 28 mm. 28, so we can consider it as 30. And the thickness here, it is about 8.7. Right? So, based on this size, I want to design. So, if this is 30 speaker and the outermost layer should be double of that. So we will give this as 50, 50. Length is 50. And the width I have to enter. Press the tab button on your keyboard. Once you press the tab, it will go to the next size. This also give as 50, 50 by 50, give enter. Once you give enter, and here you can see there is a dialog box which is giving the information length, width and height. And the best part, can you see the sections over here? Length 2 sections, width 2 sections, and the height I have 2 sections. Alright? That's number of sections you can increase. If you want to increase, for example, length space, if I change it to 4. Right? More and more number of faces, we can create more complicated designs. But it will take more time. Less number of faces, you can create simple design which is faster. Am I right? So now, let's just make it as 2.
How do you get it back?
Length 2 face, width 2 face, and height 2 face. Select OK. Now, here there is one box with 50 by 50 size and 2 faces on all the directions. Okay? If I go very fast, please ask me to slow down. And the next step. There is no speaker in the square shape, right? It will be kind of oval shape. Alright? I want to change it to oval shape. If I move the mouse, can you notice here? I can select individual face, I can select individual edge, or I can select individual point. If I stretch the top point vertically, automatically it will become oval, right? But the problem here, it should be symmetrical. If I stretch on the top, even bottom I have to stretch, same distance. Most of our design is symmetrical. In such case, on the top you can find here there is an icon called symmetry. Select symmetry, select the top face and select this bottom face. Now you can see there is a green line here. This green line represents top and bottom is now symmetrical. If I change anything here, automatically it will edit on the bottom shape. So now, select OK. Now these two are symmetrical. Just select the top point. Select this top point. Right click the mouse. Select the top point. Right click the mouse. Here you can find edit form. Edit form. Once you select edit form, here you can see there is an icon. This icon we call it as gizmo. Using gizmo, I can stretch 3 different directions. I can rotate in 3 different directions. And can you see the small arc here? Using that, I can change the size. Technically, we call it as scale. So I can stretch, I can rotate, or I can change the scale. So now I want to stretch. By selecting this arrow, just drag towards top. Can you see here? At the bottom also automatically it is changing because these two are symmetrical. And the distance. There is a common question from everyone. If I do organic modeling, freeform modeling, can I maintain the size, proper dimensions? Of course. When I stretch, can you see here, it is asking to enter the dimension. So I am going to stretch it for 10 millimeters. So just type 10. Enter. And now, to rotate the screen, if I want to rotate, this is a 3D model. I can click and hold the cube. You can see here on the top right corner there is a cube. You can click and hold the cube, you can rotate. Or press the shift key on the keyboard. You can press the shift key, mouse or together. Press both and you can rotate. So, the next step of adding this rear side, I want to increase the thickness for the speaker location. I need to add little thickness over here. To add the thickness, you can select all the 4 faces, you can give height. Alright? But before that, it is still symmetrical, alright? When it is symmetrical, if I add thickness to this face, same thickness this will take. So the same thickness again it will take. Software get confused what it is going to do. In such case, I can turn off the symmetry. Just click the arrow below the symmetrical function here. Just click the arrow, select clear symmetry. Select this body, okay. Now it is no more symmetrical. And the next step, you can use the shift key by selecting this 4th face. Again, edit form. Now, can I stretch this face outside? Here you can see the problem. If I stretch, the entire object size is changing. I don't want that. Some portion of this face has to stretch out. Only some portion. In that case, edit form. If you are going to add face, if you are going to add thickness, you have to hold alternate key on your keyboard. Using alternate key, I am going to select this scale face. Can you see here the small arc here? There is a small arc. I am going to use Alt key. I am going to scale down. Previously we had only 4 faces, right? I'm going to use Alt key and I'm going to scale down. Previous remains same. Now I have new face here. And the next step, I want to add thickness. To add the thickness again, I have to use the Alt key and I'm going to stretch this arrow horizontally outside. This stretch distance I am going to give again -10. I am going to repeat the same procedure. Edit form. First I will scale down this and I am going to stretch outside. Using Alt key, I am going to stretch it outside. First you have to scale down, then you have to stretch outside.
How many sections do you make? How do you make selects? So the whole thing is
Yeah, that is good enough. Now you can stretch outside, use the arrow.
yeah.
This arrow, horizontal arrow. It has to come front. Now you can see, but the entire object is moving.
Yeah.
So just go back. Use Alt. Now stretch out.
Oh.
So Alt is to add the thickness or to add the faces. So again you can scale down. One more step. Now again you can move the arrow.
Still works.
Can I show you? Okay, let's continue. Now, if you notice this image here, can you see at the very end, there will be some air outlet. Normally, whenever there is a big speaker, the big sound has to go up, that you need to have air exhaust. So here you can see there is some space for that. I need to create this particular portion. So what I can do, now I select only the bottom two face, using Shift key, edit form, again Alt, I'm going to scale down, again using Alt key, I'm going to push this inside. So far we are stretching outside, now I'm going to stretch inside. But the problem, can you see here? This is in a V shape, right? This is in a V shape. But right now, on my computer, this is something like square. Inside the modified tools, we have a lot of editing options available. You can select here 12 vertices. After pushing this inside, you can select weld vertices. I am going to join this point and this point. It's something like I am going to weld it. Now I am going to weld this point and this point. Same in opposite direction. I am going to weld these 2 points and these 2 points. Right? So that means any point of time you can add or you can join.
What was the join key? What was the key for
Okay,
join?
so here it is. Weld vertices.
Oh well.
For me to get around.
You have to add. So here you can see. So right now you can weld, you can unweld. Or manually if you want to add more number of sections, you can insert here. This one unweld. So if you want to unweld, which one you want to unweld? This portion I want to unweld here, but it won't take the same as before. But I just have to select the point. It's not accessible because it is not understanding the second point. So completely it has been removed. But what I can do is otherwise I can insert the edge. Selecting insert edge, this point, I can add more edges.
So if you've done something, then you undo that.
Sorry?
So if you welded stuff, right?
Oh.
Then you undo that.
Of course you have a good command here, but after long stretch, he is asking like after designing something else, if I realize that oh, I don't want it, so in that case not I have very less time, I have to go very fast. But don't worry, if you cannot be able to follow this, so later you can watch the video or even on the YouTube, you can search Fusion 360 headphone design. You can find the video available, so you can follow the same. And now, let me just complete this design, have a look so that later you can practice. This is on the rear portion, right? On the front portion I need to have a cavity to insert speaker. So I'm going to select 4 face again, edit form, using Alt key I can scale down. Again using Alt key I can push this inside. So I want to add one more step. So once again I am going to scale down. Right? Once again I am going to push this inside. Right? At the last, sometimes you might feel this is too big, this is too big. I want to change this. No problem. Using a window you can select all this space, then edit form, together you can push this inside. Right? There is no issue. So, this is the speaker location. Of course we need to have a support, right? To create support, I am going to select these 2 face, edit form, I can stretch using Alt key towards top. Again I am going to stretch. Right. And now, this is too big, right? If there is a plastic which is covering your half of the head, especially in Singapore weather, so what I want to do is, I just want to reduce the size. By selecting this case, I can just reduce the size. And next thing, it has to go towards right hand side, right? So it has to go like this. So what I will do is, I'm just going to rotate this particular face towards left. You see now it is inclined towards left. The reason, I'm just showing software to understand which direction it has to create the software. And after that, do I need to create the opposite headphone this side?
Copy.
We cannot copy. Mirror, right?
You can't copy it.
Yeah.
You can't copy and paste in software.
Copy and rotate, yes, of course you can do two things. Instead of that, normally we use mirror cover. So mirror is very easy. The reason, mirror concept is pretty straightforward. So if we are standing in front of the mirror, whatever the distance between me and mirror, the same distance we can find in the reflection, right? So we need to have a center plane or center reference to create mirror. So I'm going to create one plane, offset plane. So this particular original plane I'm going to offset towards left. My head size, I imagine about 120 centimeter. So half of 120 I need to create the reference. So this distance I'm going to give as 60. And the next thing, there is a direct command here inside the symmetry, mirror duplicate. Mirror duplicate, this is the object I want to mirror, this is the reference. So now what I have to do? Join or bridge, of course. So I can create a bridge between these two planes. So there is a direct command called bridge. Selecting bridge, this face, and I'm going to create bridge between this face. So the question is, do anyone have a flat head? So it has to be curved, right? Pretty simple. I'm going to select the center face, edit form. I'm just going to stretch towards top. That's it. So started from one single box. We have created all this, right? And the next portion, if you want to edit again, if you want to make it something like what you say, desktop headphone, you need to have a speaker, right? So what you can do? You can simply go to the symmetry. By default, it will be symmetrical, one side mirror. So we will not be having two speakers, two mic, right? So we just need mic one side. So I'm going to remove that symmetrical functionality first. Clear symmetry. And now I'm going to add mic here. But mic should not be that big, right? It is quite smaller. So I can select here, subdivide. I'm going to subdivide this space. So now you can see I have 4 faces here. Out of these 4 faces, I'm going to select any one face, edit form. Using Alt key, I can simply stretch it out. So meantime I will scale down. Again stretch. One more. So now turning towards top view. It will not be straight, right? So I need to bend towards the mount. So I can just select all this. First I will turn towards left. Then I select only this portion, again towards here, and selecting this, I can go. Right? So if you ask me to do this, of course I have done this many times. So I can finish this headphone design in 5 minutes. Right? So the question here, just now you have asked how to 3D print. can I 3D print this?
No, it's like single one piece.
No, this is different, but still, this is not a solid form. This is a free form. That means it doesn't have any material. It is just a shape. So once I finish this model, on the top I can select finish form. When I say finish form, now this is converted to solid. Now can you see there are very less number of faces you can find. This is solid. If I want to export this to 3D printer, I can select 3D print. I have a different 3D printer. My 3D printer name is XYZ. I'm not saying XYZ. Actual company name is XYZ. Everyone get confused. There's a company name XYZ. They have a 3D printer. I have that 3D printer at office. So I can select that custom 3D printer. Here you can see. So custom 3D printer I can select by browsing. So that is already I have added XYZ, right? This particular model I'm going to export. Once I select OK, it's going to launch the 3D printer application. So in that application, whether I want to change the size, whether I want to rotate any direction, I can give that. Then I can directly start 3D printing here. This is my 3D printing application.
But can't it just export an STL or something?
Yes, of course, you can do that also. That's a good question. Either you can directly export or you can go to the option here, export. You can save it to STL files. SAT files, FTP available. Then you can export that into your 3D printer.
We customize a solid printing, right? Not to making like a shell with a room.
Okay, so if you want to make a shell, in that case, here itself you can create shell. For example, I want to make a shell inside this. Within the software application, I have a command called shell. So I have to create shell here.
Is STL the same as the step
Exactly.
STP service?
That has more information. STL is more
Yes, of course. Inside this 3D printer application, you can change it. So this will be having all the customization. So any 3D software can export the shape. So remaining customization you can do with your 3D printer based on the printer capabilities.
Right, so when I work with some engineers, they love using your competitor program, SolidWorks. And,
Okay.
so, and they have a lot of problem when they want to do 3D printing because now they have to change the way they kind of assemble things and the way that planes intersect. And then it causes ghost artifacts inside the STL file. So how does this perform? Like, do they have to do anything special?
That's what. The advantage of exporting directly to the 3D printer here from the Fusion. Normally not the other 3D softwares, what we do, we save it as a STL file. It won't convert 100% into mesh. When it is not 100% mesh, some of the things, even 3D printer cannot be able to read that file format. Of course, we say we can export to STL. STL again, it is not 100% compatible with all the applications, right? So this software is more towards 3D printer. That's the reason. When I say export to 3D printer, so it will ask me to select a customized printer application. So software will understand the better form which it can export as a mesh. So as per my experience so far, I have 3D printed using Makerspace, I have 3D printed using this XYZ printer. This is a very low-end 3D printer, I can say. I have paid only $700 for this printer, but still it works better with Fusion 360.
Is there a plugin so that you can export as STL or OBJ?
Okay, so that's a good question. So if you want to export it into STL or OBJ, then what happens? Inside the Fusion, actually I have not yet completed, so I will come back to that.
Okay, yeah,
particular
sorry.
portion. Maybe later I will show that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
How we can modify the configuration?
Okay, within the organic modeling you ask. Okay, that's a good question. Sometimes within organic modeling also we need to have a sharp edge. You can see this mouse. On the top portion this is sharp edge. It is not smooth cut. In such cases, we also have an option here. Let me just show you the new design. some mouse. For example, this portion for the grip, I need to have a depth over here. So what I am going to do is, I will just change the scale. Then I am going to push this inside. After that, these two things, I want to make it sharper. So by selecting that, I can just right click. Select only these two edges. By right clicking here, there is an option crease. When I say crease, that particular two faces will become flat. When that becomes flat, based on the T-spline technology, automatically you can see the curves will also become sharp. So you can see only these two faces is sharp. So this is how we can create. Even there is an option called flat. For example, all these bottom faces, I want to make it flat because this mouth surface should be flat, right? So by selecting that, I can right click here. There is an option called flatten. By selecting flatten, I can specify some point. Up to this point, I want to make it flatten. And by selecting OK, now this portion will be completely flat. So,
Can I get this program accept a formula? Sometimes we get a code to the formula. Can we insert the formula?
You can import. You can import we call it as what? I forgot the name.
It can.
Yeah, it can. It can import even XYZ information from your Excel also. You can import it. You can import it. It will be created as a notes. Using that note, you can further continue your designs. Right? So any more questions? We are running out of time anyway. There is one question, of course, I wanted to show that. After creating all this, the next step when it comes to accessing the files or sharing with someone, right? I can select save. This will be saved on the cloud. So I can give some name. For example, this one I will give it as sample 1, 2, 3. Where I am going to say, I will be having multiple projects. Projects are nothing but folders. In computer we create folders, but online we create as project. So I want to save in some project. This one is, I am going to save it in. I will save it in Badari's first project.
So you can make different parts and assemblies and such separately?
Yes. No, part will be saved as separate. Assembly will be separate.
Are you saying?
No, but while you're making the assembly, you can make the part, you can save the part separately, or you have to make each part separately?
You can make assembly together, but software can individually recognize the parts. So you don't have to save it individually. For example, sometimes after creating the assembly, you realize only one part you want to export to 3D printer. So in that case, you can convert it to separate part.
How do you save onto your desktop and not on the cloud?
Of course. So if this is working offline, in that case it will save as a local copy.
But what if you're online and want to save on
It
desktop?
will default save as cloud copy. But for your question, the solution, so I'm going to, this is my data. Inside my data, I can select the projects. So I'm going to select my project. So this is first project. So here you can see the sample 1, 2, 3 what I have created.
Yeah.
If you want to download, if you want to export it to someone, right? In that case, on the top you can see there is an icon available like a triangle. This is the web page. When I click on this, automatically it will go to my account online. So online account, I have more options than the software because this is cloud based.
Yeah.
So even exporting to OBJ or any other file format is available here.
but it has to be online.
Yes.
So because if I don't have that connection for the next 2 hours, and I want to do my work,
You can continue offline. You can work offline with this software. There is no
and you
problem.
keep saving it locally.
Exactly, locally. But when you connect online, automatically it will export to workflow. That is the advantage. And as he said, downloading the local copy, I can download from here. You can see this is my hub. Inside my hub, I can access all my projects. I can add team member to my projects. If I want to add you up, I can just type your email address and I can add you here. Then, about sharing, for example, I'm going to search for my projects. So this is my model, right? Just what I have created, example 1, 2, 3D. By selecting this, I can share with anyone. Or, as I said, downloading the different file format, export. So in this export here, you can see the file formats which are available. Including DWG, you can export this file. Even on AutoCAD, you can open that 3D model.
Yeah.
Right?
I have one more question, but maybe it doesn't apply to the class. Rectangular pattern? Rectangle pattern?
Of course, you have a pattern
Can you show
functionality in
that?
this. You can even pattern the sketch, even you can pattern the 3D model. Circular, rectangular, you can.
Can you use an example? Because I run into a problem with that a lot, where I can't do it. It doesn't allow me to do it.
Which application?
1, 2, 3D.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3D, I'm not sure actually. That we consider as very, very basic tool.
Yeah.
So,
But then even with the rectangular pattern, you have to use a line first, right?
yes, you need to have a line. Because it has to give on like which direction you are going to pattern. For example, this headphone, whether I'm going to pattern in vertical direction or horizontal.
But would you be able to do it with that headphone
Yes,
now?
of course, I can do this. I just have to create a line for my reference. A line I'm creating on this. I'm just creating a horizontal line.
And does the line have to intersect your objects? No, it doesn't.
It's just for I can create another line in vertical direction.
You should
Finish sketch. So now I can go to pattern, rectangular, which object I'm going to pattern entire thing. And the direction I'm going to select this particular direction. So towards vertical, how many numbers I got? Quantity 3, and the distance I give as 100.
Okay, got it, yeah. Thank you.
Any direction you can go. So this is how Internet Explorer don't support much when it comes to rotating 3D model and all. But if you use Google Chrome, if you are sharing with someone who doesn't have Fusion 360 software, they can still do the actual 3D model. They can add comments, they can like your designs, they can give the feedback over here. So here you can see the options available. Like, feedback.
Yeah, modify it.
Yes, of course. If you use the functionality of the pack, here you can using pack. So, any more questions? Let me just showcase the last to access the software, you can go to fusion360.autodesk.com. You can download for free. And if you want to learn more about, you can see here learning resources available. There are a lot of learning tools, tutorials available. You can use the tutorial. And the best part, here you can see there is a gallery. So if you go to gallery, you can find more than 1,000 to 2,000 designs. So created by worldwide makers and interested people. You can see all this.
What's the one?
So these are all the designs which you can really use, which will inspire you. If you have a nice design, you can also upload on this website using the same email ID and the password what you have used to log in. So I hope it is quite easy to design. So any question further? Inventor is for very high end when it comes to simulation, when it comes to other modules like human pipe, sheet metal, so it is very good inventor. This is good for beginners and that is secondary school level. So, if no more questions, I am going to finish my session over here. I hope you have all enjoyed this. And if you have any question, feel free to contact me. And I couldn't bring my name card because I was traveling for last 2 weeks. Let me just type my email address. So this is my email address. If you have any questions related to software, related to licensing or whatever, so feel free to contact me. Even you can add me on your Fusion website. So we can keep in touch. You can share your designs, even I can share my designs. So if I need some help from your side, I'm not a creative person, I'm a mechanical engineer. So my creativity is very less. Of course, you guys can also help me, right? So thank you very much for your time. I hope you have all enjoyed. So thanks once again.